Your leftover lobster tail doesn't go where you think it does. And what cruise kitchens do at 3 a.m. will shock you. You're paying thousands for your cruise vacation, so you expect fresh, high-quality food. But behind those shiny buffets and elegant dining rooms is massive operation passengers never see, and some of it might surprise you. I'm revealing 12 insider secrets about what really happens to cruise ship food when you're not looking, how to spot fresh meals from questionable dishes, what actually happens to those mountains of leftovers, and the hidden tricks cruise lines use to handle millions of meals at sea. By the end, you'll know exactly how to protect yourself and eat like a VIP on your next voyage. Before we dive in, make sure to hit subscribe for more eye-opening travel insights. Let's get into it. 1. The 4-hour food rule. Cruise buffets look endless, but there's a hidden clock ticking on every dish. Time fridges hold prepared food for a maximum of 4 hours before everything must be thrown out. Not reheated, not repurposed, completely discarded. Ships like Icon of the Seas use over 425 chefs working in 23 separate kitchens to constantly refresh those stations. Here's your move. Ask the buffet attendant when a dish was put out, especially for seafood and dairy items. Pro tip: the breakfast buffet at 7 a.m. is always the freshest because everything was just prepared. You're eating food that's minutes old, not hours old, and that makes all the difference for safety and taste. 2. Your leftovers never circle back. Here's the myth that won't die. Leftover food from passenger dining rooms gets served to the crew or reused the next day. Absolutely false. Once food hits your plate or sits in the buffet line, strict maritime law forbids it from ever returning to any kitchen. The only exception is midnight mess for crew members, where fresh, untouched surplus from that day's prep goes to staff. Think extra prime rib that never made it to the line, not your half-eaten steak. Everything served to passengers that isn't consumed goes straight to the biodigesters within hours. What you eat today was prepared today, period. 3. The galley runs on a 2-month clock. Every ingredient on your 7-day cruise was ordered 2 months before you even booked your cabin. Cruise ships can't just run to the store when they run out of something. Logistics teams calculate exactly how much of each item they'll need based on historical data and passenger counts. Ships carry 6 to 12 months of frozen red meat, 6 months of fish, and 3 months of poultry, all stored at precisely minus 18 degrees Celsius. This means your fresh steak might have been frozen for months. Your best bet? Order dishes featuring ingredients sourced at the most recent port stop. Ask your waiter what came aboard that day. 4. Buffet pizza is your red flag. Food, that perfect-looking pizza slice at the buffet? It might be your biggest food safety gamble. Pizza shows its age fast. The cheese congeals, the crust dries out, and if it's been sitting there for more than an hour, you can literally see it. Food safety experts warn that pizza sitting in lower traffic buffet areas without proper temperature control becomes a bacterial playground. Here's what to do. Look for congealing or slightly dry cheese. That's your sign. It's been out too long. Quick fix. Order pizza fresh from the late-night room service menu, or eat it at specialty venues where it's made to order. Never gamble with room temperature buffet pizza at 3 p.m. 5. The hidden danger zone. Every cruise ship battles an invisible enemy called the danger zone, the temperature range between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit where bacteria multiply like crazy. If food sits in this zone for more than 2 hours, it becomes unsafe to eat. Cruise buffets use strict guidelines for how long food can remain on the line, but in packed buffet halls during peak times, those trays get depleted and replaced constantly. Less busy times? That's when food sits longer. Your strategy: eat during peak meal times when turnover is fastest. 7 to 9 a.m. for breakfast, noon to 1:30 p.m. for lunch, and 6 to 7:30 p.m. for dinner. High traffic equals fresh food. 6. The biodigester revolution. Here's something seniors rarely hear about. That mountain of wasted food doesn't get dumped into the ocean anymore. Carnival installed over 600 biodigesters across their entire fleet starting in 2022, and these machines are absolute game changers. They use natural enzymes to reduce 10 kilos of food waste down to just 10 grams of gray water that's safe to discharge. Royal Caribbean went even further. Their Icon of the Seas converts food waste into fuel pellets that partially power the ship's water park. Technology turned trash into treasure, and it's all happening below deck while you're enjoying the midnight buffet. 7. Your ship has a 24/7 bakery. Want to know where that incredible bread smell comes from every morning? Cruise ships operate massive bakeries around the clock using up to 1,000 pounds of flour every single day. Everything is baked fresh from scratch. Breads, gluten-free pastries, croissants, dinner rolls, and specialty items. These aren't pre-made and reheated. Actual bakers are working at 2 a.m., so you can have warm croissants at 7 a.m. breakfast. Pro tip: ask your waiter for the bread basket in the main dining room. It's always fresher and more varied than buffet bread. The midnight chocolate chip cookies in the Lido Deck Cafe? Those were baked 2 hours ago, guaranteed. 8. The sushi temperature test raw seafood is where food safety gets serious, and here's your instant quality check. Sushi rice should feel cool to the touch, never warm. Warm rice means it's been sitting too long. Raw oysters must be nestled completely in ice, not just sitting on a cold plate. If the oysters feel room temperature or the sushi rice is even slightly warm, walk away immediately. Ships prepare sushi in small batches throughout service, but less popular items can sit longer. Choose the most popular items that turn over fastest: spicy tuna rolls, salmon nigiri, and California rolls. Skip the exotic specialty rolls sitting untouched at the end of the bar. 9. CDC scores. Tell the truth. Before you book your next cruise, there's a secret weapon most seniors don't know about. The CDC's Vessel Sanitation Program inspects every cruise ship twice a year and posts the scores publicly on their website. Ships are scored on 8 specific areas, including food service, water systems, and hygiene protocols. Anything below 86 is a failing grade. A single inspection covers everything from how food is stored to whether crew members wash their hands properly. Look up your ship's VSP score before you book. One low score might be a fluke, but consistent scores below 90 signal real problems. You're literally checking the cruise line's food safety report card. 10. The tongs tell everything. Want a quick visual test for buffet hygiene? Look at the serving tongs. If tongs are left directly on the food instead of on the holder, that's carelessness and a potential contamination issue. If dishes look like they've been handled excessively, food smeared on the edges, spills around the serving area, messy presentation, that signals rushed or inadequate maintenance. Well-run buffets have staff constantly circulating to fix these issues. Pro tip: if you see the same dish sitting in the exact same spot for more than 30 minutes without being refreshed or stirred, skip it entirely. Fresh buffets look pristine. Tired buffets look messy. 11. Live cooking stations win every time. If you remember one thing from this entire video, remember this: live cooking stations are always safer and fresher than pre-prepared buffet items. When you watch someone crack eggs for your omelet, grill your steak to order, or stir-fry your vegetables in front of you, you eliminate almost every food safety risk. The food goes from raw to your plate in minutes, not hours. Made-to-order pasta bars, omelet stations, carving stations, and hibachi grills are your safest bets, especially for breakfast and lunch. The small wait time is worth the guarantee of fresh, properly cooked food. This is how cruising veterans eat smart. 12. Port days. Mean fresh ingredients. Here's the insider strategy that separates rookie cruisers from pros. Check your itinerary and eat seafood on port days when the ship has just restocked. Cruise ships strategically source fresh vegetables, fruits, and local seafood at every port based on quality and pricing. Caribbean ports for tropical fruit, Mediterranean stops for olive oil and fresh fish. Executive chefs plan menus around these port deliveries. If your ship docked in Alaska that morning, order the salmon for dinner. Greek port visit yesterday? The octopus and lamb will be spectacular. Match your food choices to recent port stops, and you're eating ingredients that are hours fresh, not months frozen. That's 12 insider secrets. But here's one final thing cruise lines hope you never realize. The absolute best-kept secret about cruise food? You have more power than you think. If something looks off, smells wrong, or just doesn't sit right with you, speak up immediately. Cruise lines are terrified of foodborne illness outbreaks. One norovirus incident can make headlines and cost millions in reputation damage. When you politely but firmly bring concerns to a dining manager or guest services, they take it seriously. Don't suffer through questionable food to be polite. Your health matters more than avoiding a tiny bit of awkwardness, and cruise lines would rather comp your meal than risk a sick passenger. You paid good money. Demand good food. I hope these secrets help you eat safer and smarter on your next cruise. If you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me which part surprised you. I'll see you in the next one.